Varesh. Hi James, been on Qenda since November. Had issues over Christmas and restarted again to 2 scoops a day. Since the last week began struggling with the amount of times I'm having bowel movements and there is blood in my stools, feeling very weak and getting quite cold, shivering at times. Don't want to go to the hospital as they'll just put me on steroids. Is there anything you can recommend while I'm having a flare up to get over it, diet wise, etc.? Also, what could be causing the flare up? My diet is mostly egg, avocado, chicken, and some carbs like potato and some veg. Cut out coffee, caffeine, alcohol, and processed food. So, just so it doesn't scare everyone, I know Varesh had ulcerative colitis. So, yeah, he already would have been having blood in his stools. That is a massive, obviously, I had ulcerative colitis, and a massive symptom of that is blood in the stools, and it's ulcerative colitis means ulcers in the colon, which is ulcers in the large intestine, which is the last part of your digestive system before it goes down to your bum and out into the toilet. So yeah, Varesh, it's very, very common. Like obviously you was getting blood in your stool anyway from like the ulcerations and stuff. But and you call it a flare up. But what I've seen is everybody I've helped with ulcerative colitis have had a parasite infection creating their issues. Parasites actually burrow into the intestinal lining. Pretty sure I answered this on the last live as well. But parasites burrow into the intestinal lining like that. So say that's your intestinal lining. This is parasites. They burrow into your intestinal lining and actually just sit there. That's where they lay their eggs. And this intestinal lining is only 1 cell thick. It's half the width of a human hair. So if you think about it, if parasites are getting in there, when you're having antiparasitics in the Qenda and all the other digestive aids, and when you're killing off the parasites, they have to come away from the intestinal lining. And in your intestinal lining, it's just a tube. So on the inside, you have your food and your feces. Then you have your intestinal lining, and then you have your blood on the outside of that. So back to the intestinal lining, 1 cell thick, got parasites in there, blood, it's a bit hard with the camera, blood on that side. So when the parasites are coming away from the intestinal lining, a little bit of blood's coming out with that as well. That's absolutely fine. I was seeing loads of blood in my stools, and I was managing it with diet. Like when I went on a raw milk diet, just liquid only, I didn't have any blood in my stools when I was having when I had ulcerative colitis before the Qenda. And obviously you manage symptoms with diet, and you call it a flare up when symptoms get worse. But basically, when the Qenda's detoxifying your body, then parasites are coming away. Obviously some blood can come out as well. It's sort of like collateral. So although it looks scary when there's blood in the toilet, we're talking about fixing a chronic autoimmune condition here called ulcerative colitis. So these parasites need to get out of the intestinal lining. So I know you said that you went down to less. You restarted again on 2 scoops a day because you had a few issues over Christmas, whatever that was. Like I think I said to someone before, like if you're going to have Christmas and you're going to eat foods that's no good for you, go on the 2 scoops twice a day, and then you're getting the right amount of antiparasitics, antifungals, antimicrobials. 2 scoops is important, so well done for doing the 2 scoop serving. But then by having it twice a day, for that 8 week period, parasites can lay their eggs, and they can lay dormant in the tissue for 6 to 8 weeks. So by you having the Qenda Ultimate Fibre, 2 scoops in the morning, 2 scoops in the evening, for that 8 week period, you're making sure you're getting rid of all the parasites and all their eggs. So yeah, best thing you can do is continue on the 2 scoops twice a day and follow the protocol as recommended. Yeah. Yeah, don't want to go in the hospital as they just put you on steroids. Yeah, so like I said, I understand it can be scary when there's blood in the stools, and I've been there and I've helped a lot of people with ulcerative colitis, as you've probably seen from my reviews. It's very normal for when you're getting rid of the parasites for some blood to come out, like for that process. It just makes sense, doesn't it? Intestinal lining, 1 cell thick, parasites, they come away, a little bit of blood comes out. Very scary when you see blood in the toilet. It's always like, how is so much blood coming out my body? I always used to think that before I found Qenda, and it was like I was 2 and a bit months into taking the Qenda maybe 5 weeks or 6 weeks into it. And yeah, I had exactly the same thing. And this is very common with people with ulcerative colitis that are cleansing. This is a question that comes up a lot. Like I said, if you use the search bar in the top of the Ultimate Fibre forum, that little magnifying glass, you'll see me answering people's questions on this all the time. So yeah, keep going, 2 scoops twice a day, and that'll help. And then you said your diet's mainly egg, avocado, chicken, and some carbs like potato and some veg. Yeah, obviously, ulcerative colitis is a really tricky one as well because depending on how long you've had like inflammation in your intestines for, it's very likely that you would have built up a lot of food intolerances. And the problem with having inflammation in the intestines that goes along with ulcerative colitis is you get the food intolerances, then you cut out the foods that you're intolerant to, and you replace it with a certain few foods, like you said there, like 5 foods: chicken, eggs, avocado, potato, and whatever else it was. Oh no, that was it basically. Oh, and some veg. When you got ulcerative colitis, vegetables would probably be far too hard for your digestive system to handle. So go a little bit easy on the veg. If you're having the Qenda Ultimate Fibre, that because of the anti-inflammatory herbs, it actually reduces inflammation in the intestines. So I've just seen Susie's there. Hey Susie, and Varesh as well. Hey Varesh, I'm answering your question now. So yes, where was I? So yeah, when you're having like, I'll move my mouse out of the way. So if you're only having like 5 foods, which I understand, you get like so many food intolerances, you cut everything out, and then you're only on 5 foods. The problem is if you just have 5 foods, the same 5 foods all the time, you can actually get food intolerance to those foods because the foods that you commonly eat are the foods that commonly pass through the gaps in the intestinal lining and get into the blood. Then your immune system makes antibodies to that food. So try go a little bit more varied with your diet. I know you're just having chicken, but obviously you can get some beef in there. I would probably go low fat, but if you can get lamb and stuff like that. Oily fish, if you're not intolerant to it. You've got like the smash diet: salmon, mackerel, anchovies, sardines, and herring. They're all the oily fish that have got omega-3s in it. If you can get them sourced from like Spain, I like a brand called Pesasur, Pesasur. Sorry, that's my dyslexia there. Pesasur. I'll write it in there, it'd be a lot easier. Pesasur. They do really good like salmon, mackerel in olive oil, and it's extra virgin olive oil as well. So yeah, they're really good because when you're talking about any fish nowadays, obviously there's a lot of toxins in the sea, and they've tested the sea in Spain, and they say that fish over there is still got a lot less toxicities in it than a lot of other places. So Pesasur is where I get oily fish. So what I'm saying is try up your protein, try get different protein sources, and then with having the Qenda 2 scoops twice a day, you should be able to find that you'll be able to eat some different kind of carbs as well. Well done for cutting out alcohol. Yeah, that happens when you got ulcerative colitis. You realise you get a hangover for like over 2 weeks, and you're like, yeah, I should probably cut out alcohol, caffeine, and processed foods. Yeah. Obviously, anyone can have all different food intolerances. The foods that you commonly eat are normally the foods that you're intolerant to, but cutting out processed foods, food additives, vegetable oils, all that stuff, like hydrogenated vegetable oils, sugars in your case. Yeah, that's really going to help. That just helps everyone basically. Extra virgin olive oil and hydrogenated vegetable oils are 2 totally different things. Obviously, in Italy, they cold press olives, and extra virgin olive oil is a lot higher quality than just olive oil in general. But you've got to be careful. You've got to get high quality extra virgin olive oil if you are going to have it, because yeah, it's a bit of a slippery slope. So hopefully that answers all your questions.